Okay. From today onwards, we will continue the session. Okay. So let's see what are the components required. What is the difference between position based or worker based time of plan creation setup? Okay, those details. Oh, typo. Hang on. I thought we don't have permissions in this tenant. Okay. So task is create time of plan. Let's make ourselves comfortable with the terminology and the components which required and dependency, etc. Okay. So that we have to access the task or create time of plan, but make sure before we are accessing this task, we should create time off, we should create accrual, then we should create calculation, and we should define whether it's position based or worker based. Also, we have to define eligibility. So see now here, once you access the time of plan, balance, okay. So please remember the terms. Balance is one of the component where the balance will controls or who can view the time of balance. For example, you don't want to allow the employee to view the balance, or you want to allow the employee to view the balance, or you want to allow only the manager can view the employee's balance. That is going to be controlled under balance. Calculation. Okay. So accruals are we have to set up through some calculations logics. Days to include, period schedules, etc. Then accrual, it holds a calculation. Accrual holds a calculation. The tomorrow onwards we'll start discuss about each component. The first component will start from accrual because it's one of the complex one. Okay. So accrual is adding. The name itself is saying accrue. Okay. Add on. Time off is taking. So through accrual you are giving the balance. Through time off you are taking the balance. Okay. For example, I am giving 10 days, which is nothing but accrual. Management or organization giving 10 days of leave is accrual. Time off means you're taking the 10 days is nothing but time off. Okay, time off. Eligibility. Who is eligible for this plan? A few time off plans may be eligible only few employees, not all the employees. There might be some time off plans, for example, vacation, everyone is eligible. There might be some different time off plans, should be eligible only specific group of employees or head count. For that, we have to create eligibility. But most of the times, the eligibility is purely based on the country and whether the employee is active and regular or temporary based on that. Okay. So now we'll talk in detail about each option, what normally it will consist. Okay. The first one, balance. We can see here, when you select the balance, we cannot see any details here. Okay. So I hope you might be remember, you can track the balance in the time off. That is called one time off plan. If you don't want to track the balance, you can simply create a time off plan as well. So what is the difference? Track balance. It will allows you to track number of days employee has taken leaves, taken time off, number of days employee still while are eligible for balance. If you want such details, you have to make sure you select track balance. Okay, track balance. For example, an organization giving 10 days of time offs. 10 days of time offs in a year, 1 annum. You want to track the balance of the time. I mean, you want to track the balance of the employees, time of balance. How many days employee has so far taken? How many days employee still has to take? Then you have to set the track balance. You have to configure accordingly. Some time offs, you no need to track the balance. Example, executive management and above level, they can take time off at any given time. Okay, at any given time. For them, we are not going to track balance and there is no payroll impact for those people. If that scenario, you no need to track the balance. So it's based on the purely client requirement. So I have a requirement document. Once we are familiar with these components, how to set up, I will display that requirement document. Based on that, we will configure. Okay. Position based. Checkbox is here we have position based. So what is the difference between position-based or standard time off? Any guess? Okay. You can create time off plan based on the position. Also, you can create time off plan based on the worker. So when you create the time off based on the worker can be terminated at any given time. But position, no. So some other employee can still join in that position or hide in that position. So you have to take the call here. Are you creating a time off plan for based on the position or based on the worker? Okay, that is also one. Period schedules. So here, dependency is there. We have to create a period schedule prior to creating the time off plan. The period schedule defines: are you going to track the? Are you going to track this time off plan, or are you going to give this time off plan based on weekly, based on bi-weekly, based on semi-monthly, or based on monthly? So for that, we have to create a period schedule. Okay, dependency. Then unit of time. So are you going to give this? Are you going to create this time of plan based on days or based on number of hours? Okay. For example, there might be a time of plan where you can still give to the employees on hourly basis. Let's say an employee wants to avail 2 hours of leave, 3 hours of leave, 5 hours of leave, or 8 hours means complete a whole day. If you want to create a time of plan based on days, you can choose this option. Or if you want to create time of plan based on hours, you can choose this unit of time, hours. So which means you can create time of plan on days or hours also. Please remember, this is again an interview question. So people may ask you, can we create a time of plan based on the hours? Of course, yes. Okay, this is possible in hours and days. And period schedule, as I said, bi-weekly, weekly, semi-monthly, monthly. To track the balances, we have to select the period schedules too. Now see, under balance, everything is blank. If I want to select based on the track balance, okay, assume with this time of plan is required track balance. You can see more fields. Okay, so who can view the balance? Okay, when they can view the balance? Okay, eligible in balance period based on as of date, eligible in period based on as of date, and eligible in period or prior periods based on as of date. Never show balance. Okay. For example, some time of plans you don't want to allow the user to view the balances. You can choose the last option. Sometimes you want to allow the user to view the prior period balances, which means not only this month, you want to allow them to view previous month balances as well. You can select this option. Eligible in period as of date. Okay. Current month. So current month as of how many days the employee has time of balances. They can select this option. Eligible in balance period based on as of date. Okay, it's based on the balance, not the period. Okay, so once I share the material with you, please go to the definitions. Okay, it's very simple. If you want to allow the user to use the balance in the current month, you can choose this option in period. If you want to allow the person to use the prior period balances, okay, current month, past month, even upcoming month balance also you want to show, accumulate and show, you can select this one. Or if you want the user to view the balance directly, okay, you can select the first option. Or you don't want to allow the user to view the balance at all, you can choose this option. So friends, when I say balance here, the number of days availed by the employee, the number of days employee eligible to take the time. Okay, there's nothing but balance. Okay. So whenever I'm asking the task, please notice two things. Identify what are the mandatory fields. First thing, in this task, what are the mandatory fields we have? Second thing, under the mandatory fields, what are the options we have? Remember these two options so that you will be familiar with this. Okay. Then hide from worker self-service. If you don't want to allow the user to view the plan, or you don't want to allow the user to request the time off. For example, an organization might have field offices. Okay, field officer, which means they're not checking office at all. They will always in the marketing areas. So if that employee wants the leave, but they don't have an access of system to avail this leave, so they can give a call to the manager, the supervisor, saying that, hey, I want time off. Could you please place on me time off? So what will happen? The manager can place an employee on time off on behalf of the employee. Okay, two things. Employee can request time off on behalf of employee. Manager also can request time off for the employee. Both are possible. And if you don't want to allow the user to request the time off themselves, select this checkbox so that the time off plan will be invisible. Okay. Calendar display. So plan and type, plan or type. As I said, we have a track balance and we have intermittent time off. We have accrual based time off. We have accrue as you go. So based on that, we have to select. And if you want to display the calendar, okay. So for example, I want leave on tomorrow and day after tomorrow. So calendar will be displayed whenever the employee is requested. I will show after this task. Calendar will be displayed. You can select the number of days you want to. You can select the number of days you want to avail on the calendar, and you can request time off. There, you want to display the plan and type, or you want to display only the plan or type. Okay, time type. This is a kind of control. I will show this option once I explain all this. I'll take you to the one other worker. I'll show how to request time off. There I can discuss. Okay, overrides allowed. Overrides allowed. If you want to allow the time of plan to override, example, I said 10 days of leave, 10 days of 10 days of time off is eligible for 1 annum. Okay, 10 days of time off is eligible for 1 annum. If I want to give more than 10 days for few employees, as per the setup, it will avails or it allows only 10 days to take. However, I want to allow 1 day or 2 day extra. I can select the checkbox, allow override. Overrides allowed. Okay, I can override directly at worker level how many days the employee can need. There's a control checkbox, but most of the time we don't select this one because overrides option we can select on the accrual. I will explain it there. Okay, balance transfers. So here, let's say you have two time of plans. Time of A, time of B. Time of A holds 5 days. Time of B holds 3 days. Time of B, you have utilized all the 3 days. It means time of B is exhausted all the days. Now you have zero balance. By time of A, you have 5 days. Now, if you want to transfer your 5 days of time off to time of B, okay, 2 days or 3 days, you want to transfer the balances, you can select this option. Okay. Apart from that, you might be heard in few organizations. Let's say one employee, I will take names from this list, Ashish and Debashish. Both are friends. So let's say Ashish have 20 days of vacation leaves. Debashish has 20 days, but Debashish utilized all the 20 days. Now the Debashish leave balance is zero. But still Debashish wants leaves. But Debashish don't want to go, what to say? Sorry. If you take negative leaves, what will happen? The amount will be deducted from the salary. That Debashish don't want. So Ashish can give some of the time offs to Debashish. Okay, 5 days or 10 days. What are the maximum or upper limit? In that, Ashish can transfer a sum of days to Debashish so that Debashish can utilize that. So for that also, we can use balance transfer. And this is a new feature. Okay, at worker level, you can transfer the balance. And the same worker can switch the balance from one time of plan to another time of plan. If you want to allow the setup, you require to select the time of plans here, which allowed. Okay, which plan the employee can switch the balance from one plan to another plan, we have to select here. Okay, and also you can switch the balance from one user to another user, or you can switch only one user from plan A to plan B, like that. The carryover, most important one and interesting one. So carryover, let's say, again I'm going the same example, 10 days. In 1 year.
Balance transfer, what is it, AUS?
AUS stands for the ISO code, Australia. 3 day Australia. Normally when you're creating the plan, first we'll give the 3 ISO code, Australia, USA, India. So that we can see easily, okay, this plan belongs to Australia. This plan belongs to Belgium. So like that. We'll give the 3 digits or 2 digits ISO code. Canada, okay, Czech Republic, like that. Okay. Then carry over. So assume 10 days of leave we have given. Okay, per annum, which means the employee has utilized 10 days of leave. Unfortunately, the employee has not taken any leave in this year. 10 days are still remains. The question, do we need to send these 10 days to the next year? Or do you want to send only 5 days to the next year? Less 5 days is expired. Okay. That question, sorry, for that question, here this is an answer. An employee have 10 days, he has not taken leaves at all. Some organization may be expiration rule. Any employee is not availing the vacation leaves of 10 days. Okay. All days will be lapsed. The employee has availed or not availed, all days will be lapsed. Again, next year, freshly 10 days will be started. Some organization may request us, if any employee is not taken 10 days, let's transfer 5 days to the next cycle, which means 15 days will be the employee can avail. That scenario, some organization may have that scenario. Okay, so which means 5 days should be expired, 5 days should be carried forward to the next coming month. Coming month. The employee will get 15 days of leave. That is going to be controlled by the carryover. Here you can specify the date, balance period start date, first period of start of balance. Then what is the limit? Okay, how many days the employee can send out, transfer to the next year. Amount of time before expiration. So how many days you want to expire? For example, as I said, 10 days, 5 days you want to, you don't want to allow for next year. Okay, let me take one document so that you'll get an idea. I will open one document quickly. Okay, let's say per annum, employee will get 10 days of vacation leaves. Vacation time off. Let's call time off. Okay, an employee has not utilized any time. His employee has not utilized these time offs in 2019. The question, do we need to carry forward these 10 days to 2020? First one. Or employee has not utilized 10 days, so let's 5 days of leaves, let it be expired, and remaining 5 days carry forward to the next year. These 3 questions we have to ask the client. They don't give the answer, we have to ask them. Okay, expiration rule in simple carry forward, or you can call it as expiration rule. Okay, different policies, some organizations follow different policies. Some organizations, if the employee is not late 10 days, they may accumulate those 10 days to the next year. The employee can get 20 days of leave in 1 year. Some organization will say, don't carry forward, let it be expire all the days, so that the employee have only 10 days in the 2020. Some organization will say, hey, let's expire 5 days, then carry forward the 5 days, accumulate these 5 days to next year. So the employee will get 15 days. These we have to ask the client. So one of the important for each time. Okay, is it clear on carry forward?
Yes.
Okay. So actually the absence is the number basics. So please ask me if you have any questions. So this is the one. Then calculations.
So in that carryover, what is the date shall we put there?
So date salary. So we
Yeah.
have start of period, balance period start date. So when do you want to expire? Two things here when we work in the time of plan. As I said, start of period, end of period. Start of period means the first day itself the employee will get. End of period means the end of the day employee will get. So in this carryover, whatever you are forwarding or expiring, those should be happen and period started immediately first date of the month or first period of balance period start date. Okay. Okay. So let me explain. When I say balance period start date, okay, balance period start date. Again, it's a logic. So calendar year starts from Jan 1st to December 31st. Correct?
Correct.
Employee can hire between these at any given time between these two dates. Correct?
Yes.
But some employees maybe you can call okay, new hires. Okay, new hires can join at any given time. Past hires can join prior to Jan as well. Whosoever completed 1 year. If you select balance period start date, okay, which means okay, I got confused. Sorry. Balance period start date means it's for new hires. If you said first period of balance period start date means already the employees whosoever are well in the leave, the previous hires. There. Okay. I will explain in detail. Just go with field by field. Once you're familiar, actual configuration when we're starting, right? So
Okay.
we'll take real-time examples.
Sure. No problem.
Then calculation. Here limits. What are the maximum days? Don't get confused between carry forward and limit. Because accrual, whenever you're giving the accrual, it will accrue. Number of days it will accrue based on employee hire date, based on employee time in position, based on employee continuous service, continuous years of service, or continuous of months of service, or based on employee data, whatever it is, it will continues accrue. When it's accruing, it will accrue, the accrual it will keep on goes, but somewhere it has to be stopped. There's nothing but an upper limit. Once the maximum limit has been reached, stop the accrual. Don't accrue from here on. That is controlled by the upper limit concept. Frequency means whether how we are going to calculate this accrual or again monthly, bi-weekly, semi-monthly. Okay, upper limit, lower limit. Let me explain an example. So you have created an accrual saying that if an employee hired, if any employee hired, we'll take okay. If any employee hired on 1/1/2000, I'm taking the past year date 18. Okay, no. Let me take this. Employees continuous service greater than E EQ equal to 3 years. This is the employee will get 20 days vacation days. Again, I'm repeating the same one. Employees who serve completed 5 years, the employee will get 30 days of vacation. So which means every year it will be accumulated. Okay, every year it will accumulate. You have to stop the accrual frequency once and should not go beyond the limit. Okay, so that is nothing but upper limit. Maximum how many days the employee can take. Maximum the employee is eligible for. Okay, lower limit, minimum the employee is eligible for, minimum and maximum. So here we'll maintain the min and maximum lower limit. Just a numbers. Okay, just a numbers. So minus 10 or 10. So I can give the upper limit like saying 30, not more than 30. So employee can minimum should get 10, maximum should not exceed more than 30. So these limits we have to maintain. And daily quantity defaults again, it can be units, number of days, hours, and that. Equal frequency method of time of class nothing but start of period, end of period. The employee can get these leaves in the start of period, the start of the month itself. An employee can get the leave a time of at end of the month, or if the client is asking first of frequency, first half of the month, second half of the month, 1 to 15 days, 16 to 30 days. In between these dates, the employee can get the leave time off. You can create custom frequency. Okay? That is under calculations. So days to include. This is again very interesting one. The days
What
to
is custom frequency?
Sorry?
I didn't- Custom frequency, is it?
Custom frequency. So normally in Workday we have 2 dates: start of period, end of period. So let me explain on the document. Start of period, first date of the month. End of period, last day of the month. They are the Workday delivered ones. Which means the time of the employee can get the time of balance, 10 days or 5 days, whatever it is based on a calculation, the employee will get in first day of the month immediately. Okay? Or if you said end of period, employee will get end of the month so that he can avail the leave in the next upcoming month, not in the current month. Simple. First date of the month, current month, first date, employee have leaves so that employee have time off so that employee can avail the time off. End of the month means employee will get the time off in the end of this month, 31st. He can avail in the coming month, means May, in the month of May. If you said first day, in the April itself, employee can get the balance. Okay. Apart from this, custom frequency, we have to create the custom frequency. It says the client don't want the first day of the month or end of the period, start of the period, end of the period. Client has chosen a different option. If any employee if they want to allow the employee to avail the leave in between first half of the month, second half of the month. Example, 10th day of the month or 15th day of the month. You have to create the custom frequency for that. In between the month, okay, if you want to avail the employee, you can avail. Let's say employee can get the balance of 5 days once in the first 10 days is completed in a month. In the 11th day, employee should get the balance. Or let's 15 days completed and 16th day, the employee will get the balance. Okay. If you have that requirement, you have to choose the custom frequency. These are Workday delivered ones. This we have to create based on the requirement. Okay. Okay. Time of taken, days to include. So we may have manufacturing industries where they will work Saturdays, Sundays, or even in holidays. Of course, they'll get overtime payments. They'll get some special allowance or comp offs, etc. Some time of plans only weekdays. That is Monday to Friday. If you're implementing for US or UK, you can choose Monday to Friday, but doesn't work for India because India Saturday also working day, right? Then non-holidays, which means excluding the holiday calendars, the employee can avail the time of plans. Okay, excluding the holidays, including the Saturday, Sunday, excluding the holidays, the employee can get time off. Work hours exceed holiday hours. This please ignore. I will explain you because I haven't worked on this. I'll see and get back to you. This one, third one, fourth one. Configure days to include. Again, it's a customer. How many days you are including? Based on that, they will take. It's very simple. Normally, employee can take time of only weekdays. But in manufacturing industries, employee can also work on Saturday, Sunday, right? When you select all days means holidays also included, Saturday, Sunday also included. Okay, Saturday, Sunday is included, holidays also included. When you select weekdays, only employee can request time of Monday to Friday, not on Saturday, Sunday, or not even holidays. It throws an error. When you select the third option, non-holiday, employee can avail or request time off on weekdays and Saturday, Sunday, but not on holiday. How system will identify that day is holiday or not, that we will see in coming sessions under holiday, once we create the holiday calendar. And the holiday calendar we have to include with the time of plans. There it will check whether the date is false on the holiday or not. Okay, that's a different thing. And this I will explain in later session. Configure days to include is a kind of a customization again. You have to include, you have to tell the days. Okay, any custom days you can configure it. Let me quickly summarize. When you select all days, employee can request time off Saturday, Sunday, holiday, and weekdays as well. Any day, though it is Saturday, Sunday, or weekday. When you select weekdays, employee can request time off only Monday, Friday. If the employee is requesting time off on holiday, it will give an error. If the employee is requesting time off on Saturday, Sunday, it will give an error. If you select workdays, non-holiday, it will allow the employee request time off Saturday, Sunday, weekdays, but not on holiday. How Workday will identify holiday? We have to upload the holiday calendars for country specific. Whenever the employee requests time off for holiday, it will give a hard stop saying that you're not supposed to request time off for holiday. Okay, and configure days to include, you have to tell to the system in which days the employee can request the time off. This is time off taken days to include. Okay, if you're implementing Workday as standard organization, by default we will go with this option. If you're implementing Workday for any manufacturing industries, you have to go with all days as well, because there might be shifts on Sunday, Saturday, or even holidays. You have to maintain the production, so they can choose this option or this option as well. Okay. Then restrict requests to days to include on calendar. So if you want to allow hard stop, saying that based on the calendar days, if you choose this last option, you have to select this checkbox. Based on the calendar days, you want to restrict the employees, they can avail days only on these dates. You have to select this option. For that, again, we have to select calendar. Okay. I think it's not recording. Can you confirm from your end, is it in recording mode or not?
It's not in recording mode.
But it's asking me pause recording, which means it's recording.
Then it might be getting recorded.
Yeah. Okay, it's recording. I can see here. Okay. Fine. Then move on to the accrual. This is one of the most complex setup in the entire time of plan. Because Workday has given drag and drop facilities here. Just you have to select one of the options. But accrual, you have to understand the client requirement and you have to create it. Okay? You have to understand the client requirement and you have to create it. In accrual, we have to include calculations. In accrual, we have to include calculation. That again is the client specific. So tomorrow we'll start from here. Okay, I will ignore this one for today's session. Tomorrow we are going to spend whole class on the accrual because it will take more time. Then time of component validations. Okay, time of components validation. Where will you define whether employee cannot take more than 8 hours per day? So where we will here we will define the employee cannot request more than 8 hours per day. the employee can request minimum 30 minutes per day. That kind of validations, we will create time off, subtract from balance. From here, we stop, subtract. Okay. I will show you in another task time off. And eligibility is very quite simple. Who is eligible for this time off? Country, employee, or contractor, or all worker type. In addition to this, if there is any specific requirement, eligibility we will create here. It's simple. Who is eligible for this plan? Now let me spend some time on time off. I will take you to the other screen. This is again an additional component, and it is mandatory. And it is mandatory. The purpose is very simple. To define the priority, okay, to define the priority, the employee can have 5 time off. The employee is eligible. Which time off is first? It was the first priority. The define weekend priority. Adjustments allowed or not. The adjustments you have in time of plan also. There you can give. Here also you can give. Hide from worker self-service also you can do. Entry option through the calendars, a time off only, through time tracking also. This we'll discuss. The important one is validations. Okay. So here what we will do, minimum the employee can, how many hours the employee can take, maximum how many hours the employee can take, and if the employee is taking maximum that, what error you want to populate, custom text. If you can populate some error, you're not supposed to take more than 8 days. You're not supposed to take less than 30 minutes. If you want to do a custom validations, you will create here. Okay, validations. And time of plan overrides. The maximum number of overrides. And if you want to default hourly or daily, or if you want to allow the employee to take daily or hourly. Okay, for example, you want to allow the employee to take only hourly. Some plans maybe you want to allow the employee to take daily, or